Can't do it anymore. I'll have to go out now.
Right. Hello. Cat wants to go out. Right, let's see how we get on. We're back. How long's it been? Middle of lockdown?
A long time ago.
I think we tried to do a video middle of lockdown. We've never done a live. So we're hoping if anybody's coming on, to comment.
So we know you're here.
So we know you're here and we know it's working. I hope we sound okay because we're having to do this on my laptop for the first time. It looks quite dark from our side. I don't know what it's like from your side.
We're in front of a big window.
I know, we are. We're in front of a window. We've got a light on overhead. So we're hoping it's not too bad.
Keep looking at a cat.
Yeah. Oh, hang on. We've just appeared. So Elaine's watching. Hi, Elaine.
Hello.
We were trying to lay bets on who'd be first. And we reckoned you or Janet. So at least we know it's working.
Yes, definitely.
So we'll just wait for, see if we get any more people join. Hope we're going to get a few more join. We have come on a couple of minutes. There's
you.
Janet. Janet's number 2.
Hi.
So we've got this here because your comments are a little bit small over there. I wonder if we can make us bigger. I don't want to mess with anything. Don't want to mess with anything
Just leave it.
in case it messes anything up.
We've got our phones with us on, so we can see your comments.
I'm hoping next time I'll be able to do it on the phone or on my tablet because it gives a much better picture.
Yeah.
But
I don't think it's too
no, for the first time it's recommended doing it on the laptop. Because my phone wouldn't let me for some reason. So let's have a go. Elaine says I'm waving. Jane, Caroline, Susan, Deb Smith, Shirley, Rachel, Pauline. How's your granddaughter getting on in their athletics competition, Pauline?
Hope she's doing well.
Yeah, hope she is. So if you've ever watched way back, I mean, I know lately it's basically just me all the time lately, but we've got Nikki on this for the first time. I'm hoping Nikki's going to come back as well.
Yeah, I'd love to.
But if any of you have been here for a long time, we used to do all the knitting stuff way back.
Podcast.
Yes.
Recorded one. We had never
recorded ones. We've never done a live.
No.
So this is new. It's the old team back together.
Good fun.
So who else have we got? Debbie, SJ, Samantha Hughes, Shane, happy birthday, Nicola. Oh, Leslie, hi Heather, I'm just watering the garden. That's nice.
That's nice.
Watching as well, you're watering the garden.
Too hot for that.
Pauline says she's just watched her first set and she's doing well so far. It goes on all week. That's nice. I hope she does really well. How are we doing? So,
what are we going to talk about?
What are we going to talk about?
What are we going to talk about, ladies?
So, Nikki, it's her birthday today. I thought she'd want to be out with the girlies, but she wanted to be here doing this to see all of you, which is nice. Yeah. I can still hear that. It's echoing. I thought I turned it down.
Obviously wants to be on.
Leslie's got a crochet question. Nikki's brought her crochet with her as well. Nikki's really good at crochet, so ask away.
What's your question?
SJ says happy birthday.
Thank you.
So Nikki's got a crochet. I've got my bag projects. I've got lots of other things out to show. Any questions you want to ask? Just thought we'd have a bit of a general chit chat. I was scared to death this wouldn't work.
Oh, we're fine.
Well, you have to apply to YouTube to be, before at least 24 hours before, and it has to be accepted. Well, I did that ages ago when I was last planning it.
Right.
And it took a while, so I thought it's going to work. And then middle of the afternoon, this afternoon, I went on to just check everything was all right, and it just wouldn't work. It wouldn't let me go through. So I watched a few videos and came onto here. I said about on your laptop.
How do you keep a straight edge when doing a blanket with straight edge? I'll show you.
Thanks, Janet. I've missed doing lives, I've got to admit. I missed the Facebook lives.
I'm currently doing a crochet blanket for a lady at work who is pregnant. And so, do you mean like a straight edge? Like this?
So it doesn't go wobbly.
So you don't go wibbly wobbly. So the easiest way, hang on. So I'm on my final stitch.
Go on, get a bit closer.
Hang on.
Do you want me to do something for you? Sue says, I presume it's your daughter. Yes, it is. Can you not tell?
Yes. So the easiest way to do it, so this, let me know if you can see. I'm going to go in to do my final stitch, like so. And what you need to do is you need to do it into the chain.
Get right in a bit, that's it.
You need to do it into the chain like that. And if to keep a straight edge, most patterns will tell you to do the chain, your height, chain 2, chain 1, whatever, when you've already turned it. For me, that doesn't work because then you come with a bump. So what I do is I chain it, say 1, 2, then turn it, and then do my next stitch, whatever that may be. And then you're straight. Did that make sense?
If not, she'll show you again. There you go. Ben's watching. He says, hello, ladies. Happy birthday, Nikki. You're beautiful.
Oh,
that's her husband. Pauline says, how am I settling into the new job, Heather? Is it going well? Yes, it is. It was hot. It's hard work. If you haven't seen my updates, are you doing this again?
I'll show you again while you're talking.
Yeah, if you haven't seen my updates, I'm working for a company. I'm in a factory overlocking the carpet book samples that you see in carpet shops. That's what I'm doing. And overlock some, at least I'm at a sewing machine. So trying to go at the speed of light around these things, and it's when they're small and they're this size, 9 by 18, it's really easy. Well, not really. It is easy now. I've been doing it for 2 weeks. But the ones that are this big, I'll tell you, I'm getting a proper full body upper workout. I'll have muscles like Arnie soon.
She hopes.
And I'm covered in muck and dust and fibres and fluff, and it's just everywhere.
See,
but you know, it's
got
a
straight
job.
edge, so just ignore that. Let me just put that down. I've just done my next stitch, and because I've done how I've said, you do your turning chain before you turn it, get a nice straight edge. There you go.
Does that make sense? Okay. Everybody's says they miss me on the lives. I miss the lives. Miss doing lives. Prefer doing lives with Nikki. Obviously. We were the originals. We were definitely the originals. Maybe not live, but we did lots of podcasts. Mm-hmm. So if you've never watched our back catalogue, go back quite a bit past the Always Knitting and Sewing days back.
Yes.
So if you're a knitter or a crocheter with all the hand-dyed wools, and we did shawls and hats and gloves and
even got
blankets.
Kids in it.
The kids when they were born. Yeah. Well, at least Joseph when he was born.
Yeah.
Cat's watching the wall. Cat's just sitting down there, just watching the wall. Right, Janet says, the other day, Heather, you were showing the zips. Well, I tried to cut a size 3 zipper into a size 5 zip. It took me 20 minutes to realise what I was doing. Well, yeah, because they're a little bit different in size. The zip pulls. Trying to put. So I assume that means you were putting a size 3 zip pull onto a size 5 zipper. That would have been quite difficult. So Sam says, I did that 30 years ago. Used to kill me up. Yeah, this arm, especially. It is, especially from pushing. And I'm going backwards and forwards like this today. Backwards and forwards. I'm thinking I'm doing sit-ups here while I'm sitting in my chair. Might lose weight. You never know. So how long I'll be able to keep it going for, I don't know. I'm no spring chicken these days, but a lot of the other women there are my age and older. They're doing it. There's a lot older doing it. So I can't complain too much.
Thank you, Luke.
Is that one of yours?
Yeah.
Right. So that's your crochet. Was that okay? Were you okay with that crochet? Did she get it? Did you get it?
She said, okay, yes, thank you.
Right, what should we show next? Do you want to see? This was the beach bag. So you can see, so if anything. So if you haven't watched it, I'm with the opposite way around on the screen.
Do you want to twizzle around so you're on the right side?
No, because I'm still going to be. See, that's the side I stand. It feels really weird. So,
dancing.
The beach bag. Okay, so this was the latest one on. I went Helpful Leather, spent the whole weekend trying to write the pattern for this before I started work. Otherwise, it might have been quite some time coming.
It's huge.
So, if you haven't seen it, I put a big drawstring top.
That I can't pull open because I'm
a big drawstring top on it. So I was thinking, if you were taking towels and swimsuits and your butties and things like that, and you're on the beach,
you could fit a drawstick in there.
You could, and you're on the beach, you could pull the top in, and it might protect it from the sand.
Yeah,
as well. And I also was thinking, if you've got kids or grandkids and they're going on sleepovers, you could fit.
That's a good idea.
You could fit a small. You could fit a sleeping bag or a small duvet and a pillow and the teddy and the pajamas and everything in there. It's a really big bag. And that was...
They've all got tea towels to make a bag.
I'm sure, yeah. Because that was 3. Obviously, it was 3 tea towels and the shower curtain. Now, the only thing I'd say about the shower curtain, I was showing that you could use... I mean, I bought these in, but it was just suddenly gone lighter. It was an inspired moment in... while I was walking around Asda and I was looking... Because I'm always looking in the area where there's the duvets and the tea towels and everything, because I've picked up tablecloths and things before.
Well, you could make that out of that plasticky tablecloth stuff.
You could make it out of anything. I mean, fabric's really expensive at the moment, and it's a cheaper way. It is a cheaper way, which, you know, before I was a bit restricted on what I would use because obviously of where I worked, but I'm no longer there, so I am no longer restricted. So this is the kind of thing I would have done before. So literally the tea towels cost £3.
Yeah.
Now the shower curtain cost £8. And if you're like me, I've got about 3 shower curtains in the cupboard upstairs that I never use. So it's a good way because it's water resistant. I thought it'd be a good idea because it's water resistant. Not waterproof, but water resistant if you put in wet things in it.
Leslie's using a bedsheet.
That's a brilliant idea. And I was going to say, if you have, it is quite, I wouldn't say it's tricky to sew. It just frays like crazy. So
what, shower curtain?
The shower curtain frays like crazy. Now, so if you're an experienced sewer, it won't be a problem for you. Or if you've done a fair amount of sewing, it won't be a problem for you. But on these, I did go around and I overlocked the edges of some of mine first. I did it on my sewing machine. I was going to do it on my overlocker, but then I know there's a lot of people who haven't got an overlocker, so I thought I'll just do it on my sewing machine. And it helps stop the fray and it makes it a lot easier. But it does pull it in a little. So if you do that first, stretch it out a bit. As you pull it, stretch it a bit. Meet Zeus.
He's just sat staring at a wall.
Yeah, I think it's when the cars are going past the front. If they've got lights, it flashes on the wall. I think that's why he sits staring at the wall. He still looks. He's looking up there now. He's watching for stuff, isn't he? So the other cat's outside somewhere. So there you go. They're about. So tea towels. Obviously, this was the size of the tea towel. If you haven't bought any already, I've put the measurements of the tea towels on, so you can just make it in cotton. Comment?
Yeah, you wanted approval.
Go.
So I just put it up. I just approved it.
You could just make these in cotton. These are quite a thick cotton, these ones I got from Asda. They were £3. Last time I looked in our local Asda, there was quite a lot of them on the shelf, reduced from £6 to £3.
I like the
and bees are always popular. And because I think I'm going to make with these 3, I bought 2 sets. So I didn't practice that bag beforehand, believe it or not. I just made it and I'd hoped for the best because I wanted to use the other set.
Yeah.
I didn't have time because I just got that job, so I didn't have time to make a practice one. I wanted to use this set to make a gardening apron because I planned a gardening apron that I was going to do for something else.
Yeah.
And obviously it's never happened.
Oh, wow.
And it's nothing like the apron that they've just brought out for the said box. So I'm going to redo that. I'm going to do it, I think, in these. So it'll be another tea towel project.
Cool.
So I would equate them to some of the lightweight canvases, lightweight cotton canvases. It's a nice heavyweight fabric. So if you want to replace the tea towels for fabric, you'll just need to use equivalent amount of fabric.
Weight.
Yeah, maybe you'd need a metre. If you're using sheeting, you might need, half a metre to a metre. It depends if you put pockets inside.
Like calico.
Yeah, for the wide, if you're using the really wide fabric for the inside of the bag, because it is quite big. It is a really big bag. And with all this top bit as well. But then you could use a different bit. As long as everything's the same width, you could size it down as well. If you wanted to make it smaller, because it's technically a tote bag with a drawstring top. So it's got angled sides. So you could size it down by, if you wanted to go smaller, just make sure you do it in equal increments and take into allowance, into when you're sewing your straps on and things like that.
Cool.
You could knock a couple of inches off, but you could just do it in cottons but there's no interfacing. Did I put I put some wadding in. There's a little bit of wadding in it.
Yeah.
VH870. People will know
I'm
because
sure
a lot of them
knows.
are always.
I've not
knitting and-
sewn in a long
Yeah,
time.
a lot of them are always knitting and sewing customers. It's the same stuff that's there. VH870. It's like a felt like iron-on interfacing.
Ah.
It's a bit felt rather than soft. It's a bit more felt like. So there we go. That's that one.
Anyone got any questions?
Any
about
questions on that? Going croaky
that?
already.
And thanks, Pauline. Yes, hearts everywhere, please.
What's that? I'm missing these. Oh, what a beautiful bird. He is. He's gorgeous. He's Zeusy. We call him Zeusy.
Gorgeous
His name's
boy.
Zeus, but he just gets called Zeusy. He's my cat.
He's not. He's mine. He tried climbing in my bag when I got here.
Yeah. It's amazing what you can make with a tea towel. They're just a bit bigger than a fat quarter. I think they were 20 without looking. That's my instructions up there. Hang on. It says how big they are without me measuring them on that. I wrote quite really what I hope was quite detailed instructions so that if once you've watched the video once, you might be able to just go along and use the instructions standalone. Then you don't have to keep going back to the video.
Yeah.
I didn't put pattern pieces because it's all squares and rectangles really.
Okay.
So hopefully that will work for people. You'll have to let me know when you've done it. I started a Facebook group today, the Woolly Elephant Crafters Facebook group. I know people have asked for it. I haven't got a clue about Facebook and social media. So Doris, the lovely Doris who used to work, she was the Saturday girl.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, and she got made redundant too.
Lovely.
So Doris has been made an administrator and a moderator, and she says she's been telling me all about Facebook and stuff, and she's basically gonna muck in and do that for us.
That's really nice.
Because obviously I'm at work full time as well at the moment, which we obviously it wasn't going to happen originally, but then hubby got laid off.
Yeah.
As well, so I had to go to work. So we had to both apply for jobs. So, you can't not have any money coming in.
She's got a habit to fund, you know.
I do.
So sewing and stuff.
So there won't be as much of me, as much of my makes as I originally intended, but it will still be coming, and it might take me longer. But think of it as quality over quantity.
Oh yeah, definitely.
This time. Doris was also going to help when it patterns. If I do patterns in the future, and I do patterns, if there are pattern pieces, she's going to help sort it all out and get it into a proper pattern form on pattern paper so that we can sell the actual printed patterns with pattern pieces and everything as well.
What, like you get with when you get dress patterns?
Yeah.
Oh, that's very cool.
So I don't know when that'll be, because quite a lot of patterns I do with squares and rectangles, so you don't technically need patterns. You don't need pattern pieces anyway. But if you want them, we might be able to do it in the future.
You can make your own pattern pieces. Yeah, that's what I did.
Yeah, well I do. Yeah, like I say, a lot of it's squares and rectangles anyway, so it's easier if you want to make more than one, just to make some cardboard templates.
Oh, that's lovely. Thanks, ladies.
What's that?
You're excited for your future.
Oh, thank you. Just got to keep at it. Just these first 2 weeks, I've been struggling staying awake past 9 o'clock at night at the moment because I'm worn out. But that'll start getting better, and I'll start feeling more like sitting and crafting again.
Buffering. Are we buffering for you as well?
Yeah. Seem to be all right at the minute.
Oh, both of us were just buffering on our screens.
Hopefully we'll be able to give up work one day and do this full time. That is the plan.
That'd be the dream.
I don't know how long that'll take. It all depends on my husband finding a job, and so I'll be doing this for a short while, and then we'll see what happens as we go along. Because this was the dream to just do it full time.
I'm going to stand here with my tea towels.
So your tea towels were 18 by 25.5. So if you take that into consideration when you're getting fabric or you're buying tea towels, or that I've used the size of the tea towel to make the bag. I know when I made it, and I thought, gosh, that was quite big. It was big, yeah.
No, there's no size measurements on it. Well, it's just a normal tea towel.
And I left the hems in. Just bear in mind, if you do leave the hems in, I did on mine. If they are around the top, when you're finishing that, going around that top bit, when you're doing these final top stitches here, if you get to here, it can be really thick here. Just bear that in mind if you do leave. And I say in the thing to go up to, if you can, put 100 size 100 needle in 90 or 100. Right. Depends what your machine. If you've got a good machine, it should get through it. If you've only got a simpler machine, it might not. So if you haven't, don't leave any of the hems on the tea towels. Cut them off. Don't leave them in the ones where they're going to be at the top. It doesn't matter really down the sides, but it does. It will in those 2 seams at the top.
Becky's asking, did you tell Dad about that job? She said, did you tell Hubby about that job I told you about?
Who's asking me that?
Becky Parker. Becky Parker. This is where she goes, don't remember that.
I don't remember that. You'll have to remind me about that.
Another trick to answer.
Oh, there's been that many jobs. Indeed, I've applied for that many jobs. I've seen that many jobs. There's still that many coming in for him and me. You apply for so many. Becky will know what it was like when she was applying for work. You just apply for so many, don't you?
Mm-hmm.
And you don't hear back from most of them.
No.
Or you get knocked back from the simplest of jobs like Morrison's and Aldi and Asda, and you think, oh God, life's depressing. But hey ho, I'm liking what I'm doing at the moment.
That's all that matters.
Sue says she's in the middle of tidying her craft room and doing some destash of fabrics and patterns. That's a good idea. I might do that soon. Mm-hmm. I have a lot of hand-dyed wool. I took it all off the website, off my Etsy shop, because I didn't want it to confuse people, because I was putting all sewing things on. I didn't want people to get confused, because if you put in the price bracket, like from low to high, all the wool would come to the top.
Yeah.
And if you're looking for sewing products, then that's totally confusing. I mean, we are called Woolly Elephant.
Yeah.
Because that's what we were originally, which anymore, really. It's all about...
I know what we could do.
It's, what?
To help, if you're wanting to shift your wool, we could do one of these, but for selling.
We could.
Cool. That allows someone, because I see it all the time on TikTok and Instagram and Facebook.
Yeah.
Where they do lives with the aim was to sell a product. That's if the people want it.
You see, I've got quite a lot, and I might sell it at a discount. I did have some here. There was some around here. I don't know if people who watches, if you knit, but I've got boxes and boxes up here of all my hand-dyed yarns that I need to shift some. So I was thinking of putting them in my Ko-fi. You know, I've got the Ko-fi account shop on here. Yeah, here we go. So there's one. So a lot of them I've only got one of, because that's what you need to knit a pair of socks. You can see a pair of socks behind there on the wall. They're my latest finished ones. So if you knit socks, well, that's how we got into it, isn't it?
Yes.
Through knitting socks. These were my sparkly Christmasaurus.
Did any of you see my knitting tutorial for
the
other place?
Yeah. If you ever did that and you wasn't sure who did it, this was Nicola. She was taken on as the knitting tutor, and then that was the only class you got, wasn't it?
Yep.
So that was that. So I've got quite a lot of hand-dyed wool still left to sell. I just took it all off because I didn't want anybody to get confused. So I was considering putting it back on where you go to download my patterns now. Mm-hmm. They're from my Ko-fi shop. Mm-hmm. So I can sell these in there, and the fees are a fraction of Etsy.
Oh. So
I can sell stuff in there as well. So if I might put my wool on there, if people would be interested.
Have you... that sounds like a great idea. No, hang on. Let me go back. Heather, how do you organise your fabric and scraps? I'm getting overwhelmed with how much I'm accumulating.
Yeah, I know that feeling.
Use them as stuffing.
Yeah, scraps, I don't organise. They just get shoved in the box. And now I've got an embroidery machine. Every now and then, I would just fill up a bag. I know this isn't helpful, but I'd fill up a bag and give it Fiona. There's Fiona Gregson. She used to come into work, and she did lots of quilts and groups of ladies, crafters for the Linus charity. Mm-hmm. That made blankets, quilts for children in hospitals, so they have something to keep and take home with themselves. So any scraps I had, because I had mountains and mountains of scraps, because for all the classes I did and all the leftovers I used to bag them up and give them to Fiona, and she'd come in and show me the quilts and things that she'd used them all in.
Oh.
But now I've got an embroidery machine, and I like doing the applique on the embroidery machine, and so I'm now rethinking some of the nicer stuff I've been keeping. I haven't had chance to organise it yet. I tend to organise my fabric when I do organise it. I have mad sessions where I organise it by colour. I just organise it usually by colour. And then premium. All my premium fabrics.
Oh yeah, I do.
Like my Timeless Treasures, stuff like that, and my Robert Kaufman, stuff like that. Mm-hmm. I tend to put that together. Not necessarily in colour order. I tend to put them together in lots. So those from that range are together, and all the premiums are together, and then everything else like cotton poplins, blenders, plains, I tend to put together in colour lots. And we've got there, can you see all this on the shelf? This is all like bag making type stuff here. Some of it's sort of colour coded. Looking at this here, if you've got an Abercan near you, our Abercan, or if you can go to Abercan in Manchester, they've closed. They had the fabric shop at the back that did all like the quilting cottons in the back, the premium stuff that you like, your timeless treasures and stuff. You might pay £16-17 a metre. And they've closed that now, and I think all the wool's gone in there. We went in about a week or two ago, and all the like quilting cottons. I mean, this is the only quilting patterned cotton I bought. But this was a timeless treasure. This was so cute.
That's horrible.
£4.50 a metre.
Wow.
It worked out at.
How much did you get?
£4. I just bought the whole bolt. It was like it had just been ripped off a bolt, took off a bolt, just pulled out the middle of the cardboard. And I just said, I love that, because it was a certain weight per kilogram, and it worked out about £4.50 a metre, it said. So I got this, and I think there was a couple of metres of this here. So that was like £9 for that.
Oh,
so
hello.
If you can go to Manchester, I got all these. I think I got about 10 metres of fabric. These blenders, because I needed blenders and things like that. So there's quite a lot here. I think I got about 10 metres of fabric for about £45. So great, I thought, for doing all the samples and things for here. But I'd highly recommend going having a look if you're local. If you can get to the Manchester one that's in the northern quarter at the moment, loads of quilting cottons and things. Yeah,
I always preferred the Manchester one over the Preston one,
because there was a lot of premium stuff. A lot of other people might not have known what it was, but having worked with it all, I'm thinking, they had the Michael Miller, the fairy frost glittery stuff. Anybody that's ever bought that? It used to sell for like £18 a metre. We had that, £4. There was quite a few of them for £4.50 a metre, so worth going and having a look if you're close by. Other than that, I keep it in these. I've got like a unit.
It's like a cube unit.
Oh God, you don't want to look. Look, it's just, I've got about 8 of these. It's a bit
to the rafters.
Yeah, it's not very well organised at the moment. I take a day every now and then, and I tidy up.
Craft room organised?
No,
let's be honest.
When it starts to get a bit overwhelming and I can't find anything,
Zuzi, you're going to ruin things. Stop
I
it.
can put that down. I take a day, and then I just go through it all, and I tidy it all up again, and then I'm ready to start again. I've got a hanging rack just behind here. I got on Amazon, and it's like this here. Looks a bit untidy at the moment, but it's all colour coded. And this was for hanging on the back of your door. Yeah. Over the back of your door for putting toiletries in and things. And it's got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 buckets. And all the stuff that I had shoved away, all my blenders and things that I forgot about, that you shove in boxes and bags and you never see.
Yeah.
I just started pulling it out in colour lots and shoving them into each one. So I've got blues and pinks and lilacs and greens. And since I've done that, I've actually started using it.
Oh,
whereas it was sitting in boxes, so I'll use some out of there, and then as I use a bit up, I grab a bit more out and shove a bit more in, and then you use it up. You need to be able to see it. I know Doris, she puts hers. She used to take some of the boards home, the fabric boards home, if you can get them. We're a bit of a funny angle now, aren't we? She had some of the fabric boards, and she put it onto fabric boards. If she went and bought faux leather and stuff like that, big pieces of faux leather, if you like bag making, she'd put it onto the rolls. There's a place in, is it Blackburn? Immanuel's Fabrics. I think I posted a little short on it on going in Immanuel's, and you could ask them put it on the rolls.
Oh, that's good.
And that was cheap. That was like faux leather at £6.99 for a metre. £6.99 a metre. I mean, it's a bargain. You need to get there. Yeah, you need to get there, and it's really good stuff as well. Really good stuff. So I can give you all these different places. I couldn't before.
She's got intel.
that I couldn't before. So that's worth checking out. They are online as well, but there's only a fraction online of what's in the shop. So if you can get to Blackburn and Immanuel's, you won't get down there.
Right, okay. Next. Reading back on the comments.
Yes.
Elaine's doing duck key rings. Not to share a picture.
They are brilliant. I've seen them. It's like
well, I haven't.
It's like duck off. Duck it.
I need it.
What the duck?
Now.
What the duck? I bought that. I bought them. Not the Hercules. I bought the download for doing all those, and they're brilliant.
Yeah, I love that kind of stuff.
The play on the words. And I know people are buying. She sells them. As soon as she makes them, she sold them. Elaine's amazing. She makes loads on her embroidery machine.
Oh, wicked! I like that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
Have you even crocheted some socks? Yes, I crochet socks. During lockdown, everybody got slipper socks, and crochet socks in 4-ply is a lot harder to crochet than it is to knit. So I haven't actually crocheted a sock in 4-ply. I've crocheted socks in double knitting and iron because it's a lot easier on the hands. It's really difficult to get my tension right on 4-ply sock crochet wise because the pins, the needles, the hooks even are so thin. It hurts my hands and I have problems with my hands. So I've not actually done a 4-ply one. It's on the list to do. I might do it at some point.
One in and one out.
Got an ording.
Well,
but I've done plenty of slipper socks, crochet ones, and lots of big socks, as in stockings.
I've knitted so many socks. At some point, I was planning on doing a knitting sock class. Because so you can knit on double points, you can knit on circulars, you can knit on 9-inch circulars.
I love doing magic loop.
So you like magic loop, I like double pointed needles. So everybody's got their own preference. Do you knit socks? What's your preference?
I like knitting. Hang on, pronounce my T's.
Yeah.
I like knitting about 2.5 inches of rib. I hate rib.
Yeah.
But I'd do it shorter if I could, but it looks better with longer rib.
25 rows, 20 or 25 rows I do.
Yeah, but what size needles do you use?
2.25.
I'm used to knitting them for Ben with his giant feet.
Yeah.
So that I have to use like 3.75. But I use, if they're like for me, I use 2.5, 2.5. And 2.5 inches. Then I do about 6 inches. And then I do, if it's for me, a fish lips heel, because I'm lazy and I can't be bothered picking up. If it's for Ben, he gets a proper heel. And then obviously the foot and then the toe. And then grafting it together.
But does anybody know what she was talking about then?
I'm just speaking a different language. But yeah.
I'm currently doing socks with an afterthought heel.
I've only done one of them. It scares me. I'm going to unravel it all.
I'm doing that. I may do that because you can just knit a tube, knit a rib, then knit it into a tube and knit a standard square like toe. And then you can go back and knit the toe, basically the same as the toe, in as a heel. And that works quite well.
SJ says she has to go walk a dog.
Enjoy. It's sunny here. Is it sunny there? Hope it's not raining.
So people have put comments about your storage. Let me go back. Got distracted by knitting.
Yeah.
I keep some scraps and other bits I send to my daughter's school for crafts.
Yeah.
That was going to be one of my suggestions.
Because they can just build up and build up and build up. There is a YouTube channel. There's a lady out doing a YouTube channel, and all she does is sew quilts and things with scraps. I can't remember what she's called. I'll have to look it up.
Like we've got local scouting groups. My kids go to scouting groups and I send craft stuff with them. It helps. What else is there? Wild Dead Cheap Fabric, gorgeous fabric. I think that's for your cat.
Yeah.
Helen says it's lovely to see and hear you again.
Thank you.
Karen T says hi.
Hi.
Shirley says I'm always trying to tidy mine. I need to stop buying more. No, it's two separate hobbies.
Yeah. I keep reorganising. I'm always reorganising. I'm never happy with how my room is ever. Ever.
Yeah. Sue says when you do have a tidy up, it's surprising what
you find.
What you find.
It is.
It's like you're shopping again.
It's inspiring. Go through all your premium fabric, especially because you feel all inspired and sit down and make stuff.
And then what I forgot. Caroline says she'll love the metal grid behind you for the handle.
Yeah, this is grid wall for back in my craft shop days when I had my craft shop. We had not the slat wall you see in a lot of shops. We had grid wall all around the shops because some of this you could put on legs as well. And we had stood in the middle of the shop with loads of things hanging on it, so we kept that in case we ever did shows. So at the moment they're just propped up against the walls, so it's great for hanging things on. And I've got all my embroidery hoops here hanging on here. They need fixing to the wall. It's just my table's holding them up at the moment. We just need to finish decorating because we've taken away. I don't know if anybody's noticed. It's not pink anymore. It was this colour. Can you see that? It was that pink. It's now not.
This used to be Babby.
Yeah, so it's now brighter. But yeah, I'll keep all my embroidery hoops, hang little tubs and things on there. These are little IKEA tubs and things, and it's great for all that. I wanted my notice board back because I used to have the big shelves I just showed you here. Used to be there. So I'm seeing lots of people have made these bags. Janet especially, she's made quite a few of these crossbody bags. If you haven't made it yet, or you haven't watched the video through and you're wanting to, there was a piece that was missing. Editing. I haven't got an editor anymore. Lucy was my editor. Well, see, and how I missed putting it in, I don't know. Anyway, it's on separately. When you get to the certain point in the video, there should be a little thing that pops up and says "Go here for this bit of video." When somebody pointed it out, so the bit that's missing is on separately, and it's linked in the video, and I think it's linked down below. It's just when you put on one of the layers inside before you turn it through.
Pauline knew what I was talking about with the heel.
Oh, that's good.
My favourite heel is the Fish Lips Kiss heel. Thank you.
And we have the hardware. I've got the hardware sets. I've quite a lot of that in stock back at the moment for making these bags, or for any strap this size you want to make. If you would rather have D-rings rather than these triangles,
I like those triangles.
I do. They're great for this. But if you say I wanted D-rings in the set instead, just message me and I could swap them over. I have got some D-rings, so I could swap them for D-rings if you wanted. But these are really good quality lobster clasps, these as well. I really like these ones. So you get 2 lobsters, two triangle rings, and you get the what do you call it? Adjustable strap thing as well.
Slider thing.
And I've got the strap, the cotton strap as well, the 1 inch wide, and I've got that in. If you want to see it for real instead of just in pictures.
Deb says she's just making a strap for your sling bag.
There you go. There's all the colours that I've got left in stock at the moment, and there's navy, there's black as well. So that's all the cotton 1 inch wide webbing. I was thinking of things to do with these cutlery holders. Has anybody made these?
Hang on, hold your horses. Who's asking? Pauline is asking, are you selling hardware separately too?
I haven't at the moment because everybody asked for it to go with the bags. I might do in the future when I've got more in stock. At the moment, because of how much Etsy takes in fees, to sell them as individuals, 1 lobster claw, lobster hook, 1 D-ring, it just isn't worthwhile for the amount that it takes in fees on single items. Maybe if I had a Shopify shop, it would be all right, but at the moment, I've got D-rings in a pack of 10. I might do, if I did do the lobster clips, I might do them in a pack of 4 as opposed to 1. Yeah. Something like that. So 4 D-rings or 4 triangle rings, things like that, in sets that way rather than mixed. If that would be useful. It's just, I don't think it'd be worth me while selling them individually.
Carol Ann's put, love trying the bag, but I haven't put in the pocket lining and had to rip out 4 times, but got there in the end. We'll give the bag another go though. Yeah, watch that extra bit of video, because I think that's the bit that's missing. I hadn't realised. I had filmed it, but I hadn't realised it was missing when I was putting all the pieces together and editing it. And I can't go back. Once I put it on YouTube, once it's on YouTube, you can't go back and edit it unless you take it off. Right. And then once you take it off, those 400 or 500 views that are already gone, they're gone. They're gone. And at the moment, trying to get the channel to be monetized, get to a level where it be monetized, so I start getting paid from YouTube on adverts, and that's quite a lot to lose. But the missing bit, I think it's where you put the back panel, the back lining on, that might have the zip pocket on, the slip pocket on. It's all there. It's just linked to a separate video where it shows you exactly how to do that. So just when you get to that point, just stop, look for that link. And if you can't see the link for whatever reason, just scroll back through the videos, and it's there. It says the missing bit for the sling bag. Cool. Got it? I was thinking of other uses for these cutlery holders. For anybody that doesn't want to use them as cutlery holder, I was going around thinking, what can I put in these? So, if you never find your remote control, have you ever thought of sticking it in a pouch so you can find? Because they're always black. Yeah. They're always black, and you drop them into the abyss. Into the abyss, and then you find them. Make a nice bright pouch. And put your remote control in it. If you've got a big remote control, just make it a bit longer. Where would we post photos of what we've made from your
There's
tutorial? The new
Facebook group, Woolly Elephant Crafters, it's called.
Yes.
Should be there. You can just apply. Is it apply?
I don't know. I got invited.
Well, I invited everybody that I could see on my list.
Yeah.
Who I thought would be interested. I invited.
Right.
You can just search Woolly Elephant Crafters or go on the Woolly Elephant Facebook page and it'll be linked on there.
Yeah.
And then just ask to join, and then we just have to approve you at the moment. That's going to change when Doris gets involved.
Yes.
And there'll be just a couple of little questions you have to agree to and things like that.
Yeah. Okay.
But all these first people, I know who they are, so you're all approved.
Approved.
So another idea, my husband had said he's been on about me making a pouch. Do you have an EpiPen, or do you know anybody that's got an EpiPen?
Mm-hmm.
I'd say make it an inch narrower.
It's a good idea.
All you've got to do is make it an inch narrower, and you could put a belt loop. Just put a loop so you could slide it on your belt on the back.
And you could even embroider on it.
Put all your embroidery on
or something.
Yeah. Yeah, I've got the embroidery. I bought an embroidery for that. Or a Cricut one, I can't remember. Might be embroidery. It's one of the first things I did on my embroidery machine, I think.
Because if it was to use it for an EpiPen, me personally, I want everybody in the world
to
know my EpiPen's
there is a symbol. There is a symbol that you can get, isn't it?
Yeah.
And then rotary cut fits in there quite well as well. So that's just other uses. I would also say, if you're going on holiday, this is like got a waterproof lining. Toothbrush and toothpaste would be good in there as well if you make it waterproof.
Yeah, that's a good idea.
So that's those. I've been talking about, I know we're going on a bit long now, but I've been talking about doing sew along.
Oh, yeah.
I've been asked a lot for embroidery.
Okay.
So I've only been embroidering myself for a year.
Really?
But, yeah, just over a year. But I have learned quite a lot along the way. So I can only teach what I know and what works for me. But I like doing the in the hoop projects, and I posted a picture of these I did last weekend and asked would people be interested in just doing the sew along. I'll just make one along, and you can follow along with it. Now, you can do them on any of your embroidery machines. So that's the 4-inch size. So if you've only got a 4x4 hoop, that size is the size they come out. This is 5x5. I did that in my 5x7 hoop, so that's just in a different colour. That way. And we all have that, don't we? So much. These will end up in me. These blue ones will end up in my shop. So little time. It's a really easy project to do. It takes, on my machine at full speed, I think it's 1,050 stitches a minute. Took just over an hour to make one.
Oh, that's not bad.
This size. So if you're stitch slower,
45 minutes.
Yeah. So if your machine stitches slower, it doesn't go quite that fast. It'll take a bit longer, and if it stitches faster, you'll get it done quicker.
Is that the time it takes for the embroidery?
The whole thing. No, that's the whole thing.
Right.
Well, because you're making the whole thing in the hoop.
All right.
There's no sewing on your machine, on your sewing machine.
That's witchcraft.
Yeah. The only thing I sewed on my sewing machine was I stopped and I put this tab in. That tab isn't in the pattern. I just added it in because I liked it. So without that, like on that one, it's all done on your sewing machine. The only bit you have to do is either the turning gap is either glue it or hand stitch it afterwards. And in this kind of thing where it's down in the bottom, you could just glue it. Just glue it. You don't have to hand stitch it. So if you'd be interested in that, I'm thinking in a couple of weeks. It'd be on a Friday night. I finish early on a Friday so I can get ready. Finish work early on a Friday, so we could do it on a Friday night. 2 or 3 weeks time. Would people want that? If they do, put in the comments what would be a good time for everybody.
Yeah. So
that we just picked 7:30 tonight because I thought it was a good time. Everybody's had the tea and what have you.
And it's still daylight.
It's still daylight, but if you were, because it might go on for an hour and a half to 2 hours tops.
Yeah.
Waiting for people. So
answering questions and whatnot.
So we could maybe start at 6 o'clock if that would be better. So you could maybe come and help.
Yeah.
And answer questions if she wants to do.
I'm happy. I do have experience sewing.
She taught me to sew.
I taught Mum how to sew.
She just doesn't really sew now, do you?
Just don't have the time. But I have got a lot of experience in it. It just might take a minute for the brain to catch up.
But for the embroidery, it's really easy.
I haven't a clue about embroidery.
So there is, I'll put a link down below. This is on Sweet Pea Designs.
Will we do a sew along on a sewing machine because she doesn't have an embroidery?
Yes, I'll do that as well. But I've been asked, I've done a few sewing tutorials. One of the things I got asked for a lot when I did those first couple of videos when I got laid off. A lot of people asked for embroidery. as well.
Fair enough.
So I've done some sewing. I thought I'll stop and do an embroidery one. And for me to do a first live on here, I thought that would be quite an easy one to tackle.
Yeah.
First, and it gives you the embroidery stuff, so you could watch along if you wanted to. You could probably even use the measurements and make one of these on a sewing machine. This is basically the same as my bags. It's made the same as my bags, just much smaller, and it's made on an embroidery machine to make this. This is basically the same, but you're making it in the hoop.
That's so cool. Can't wait to see that.
So, yes, and I do plan on wanting to do sew-alongs, little sew-alongs. It's just trying to decide what to do. Can't make my mind up what to do because there'll be little for you know, we want things that don't take too long.
Yeah.
So I'm looking for suggestions for those.
Do you like makeup bags?
Yeah, I mean, I could do a proper, just sold quite a lot of these at the moment. Everybody that's bought the Paisley ones, thank you very much. And for anybody that wanted a Paisley one, I can't get the fabric. I've looked all over to get some more of the purple Paisley fabric. I just can't get it. So I don't think I've got enough to make another one. So that's it ended. But there is quite a lot of others, quite a few others in other colours. I could do a sew along. I know it's a simple patch, but you know, to make it look professional and everything. Get your stuff really neat. If anybody showing you the zips and how to do that.
It's a good idea. The technique series would probably be a good idea.
We could do, well, because that's what I've been doing, techniques. So we could do a smaller one in a class. If you wanted, we could do that as a sew along. So what do you think on that?
You know what I want to make? I want to make a book sleeve for my paperback books.
Yeah.
Because I take them in my bag to work, and I have a Kipling bag, and they're waterproof to an extent.
Yeah.
But I want to sew a fabric one, but I can't figure out the maths.
So we could do that.
For the thickness of the books.
Yeah, we could do that.
I thought that'd be fun.
We'll maybe do that as a sew along. This is a little one, a little bag I've got coming. Hopefully in the future, I've just got to iron out a few things. It's dead.
It's coming home with me.
It's a really simple little bag. This is just my first draft. Could maybe do that in a sew along because it's quite simple. Might not look simple, but it is quite simple. I know it's black, so got a nice bright line. No pockets, just the bag.
That's pretty nice.
And it's really sweet. I just need to adjust a few things on it before it comes. And that's in faux leather, because I've been asked about how to sew with faux leather as well. So I'm just trying to accommodate everything that everybody asked for.
Yeah.
So that would be, you could do it in cotton though, but it'd be nice to do it in faux leather.
Yeah, it's really nice though.
Because it's quite thin.
The faux leather suits the style of the bag.
Yeah, and it's a nice little going out bag. It has got, I have put things on for a crossbody, but you don't have to have it for a crossbody. So cat's just arrived. Okay. So I think that's everything.
Anything else?
I don't know.
Anyone got any questions?
Oh, these are a couple of others. Just to show you things that you could go and search yourself if you're doing embroidery.
I just made a book cover pouch with a matching bookmark. Found the pattern on YouTube.
All right. Cool.
It's like I don't know whether to, because I looked. I can probably make my own if I just use my brains for a second. I just don't know whether to put in like wadding or what's that iron-on fleece stuff?
Yeah.
That stuff. All right, wadding.
Yeah.
Or the like quilting, the stuff you put in your quilts. I've got loads of that.
You can use any of that.
But I want to be able to use it because I have some books that are like this thick, and then I've got some books that are like this thick.
Yeah.
I want to make one that'll do them all. Because I'm lazy.
Right. Well, that's something we could do in the future. For anybody that does embroidery and that like doggy bags, dog walking bags, this was a bit fiddly. But on Sweet Pea Designs again, it's called Doggy Bag, I think.
Right.
That was 87p. That download.
Bye, Janet.
87p. Bye, Janet. If you like your doggy bags, and it gives you a dog bone.
That's cool.
No eyelets involved, and you just pop your. This should be a snap on there. You just pop your thing through there, and then you can just hook it on your bag or your belt loop. So I think that's it. I think we should call that. What we've been going over an hour.
About 50 minutes.
Yeah, is it?
Yep. It's got a countdown there.
Oh yeah, 20 past 7. I'm thinking we started at 7 and we didn't. We started at 7:30. Is anybody got any other questions that you'd like to know? How are we doing? Sorry, we're just reading comments. I've made one bag that will fit 2 books in, plus my glasses case.
I like it.
That's good.
Yes.
That's great news to make that for Meggie. She has 6 leads. Yeah, definitely. It is. That was quite a quick make. The only fiddly bit in
Look
that
at this. It's
was
cute.
when you cut this out, you have to cut the top fabric away and not cut through your stabilizer. And then when you do the back bit, you've got to cut through the back bit without cutting through the stabilizer. So you have to use curved scissors and be careful. But it's very cute, and it's one size.
That's good.
But 87p for the download for that. It's like it's no
Bargain.
risk.
No.
And you could put a name on it as well if you wanted.
Or an
The
initial.
dog's name or something.
Mm.
Oh yeah, that's are they axolotl or something? Becky has got one of these.
Mm.
These are the craze of the moment, aren't they?
Yeah, the pet.
I can't remember the name of the website of this, but if Elaine Vokins is still watching, she knows what it is.
Axolotl.
So they're like little pink lizardy things that you can put in your fish tank and what have you. And they seem to be a big craze right now. So I've made a few of those. I've just never got round to finishing them.
Right. I think everyone's ready for going.
I think we are too.
It's cup of tea time.
Oh, so it was nice chatting. It was
Yes.
nice being back. It was nice being back with Nicola.
Yeah, it's been fun.
And it's time to go and have a brew.
Mhm.
So I hope you enjoyed this. I hope we sounded all right. The sound was all right and everything, because we might be able to just carry on and do it on this again next time.
Yeah, that'd be a bit easier.
Yeah.
Mm. Well, I'm going to go have my birthday cake. My dad made me a cake.
Yeah, Dad made a cake. Okay.
All right.
So until next time, everybody.
Thank you.
Bye.
Bye-bye.